This is verse 11 of the 5th chapter of the Gospel of Matthew. We're reaching the end of the Beatitudes, which themselves introduce the Sermon on the Mount. Jesus has been going through what appear to be triplet arrangements of these various character qualities, winding up now with the description of those who were persecuted, not simply for righteousness' sake, but more specifically for the sake of Christ himself. This becomes the culminating expression, and it does change grammatically a little bit, the way it's expressed as opposed to the foregoing Beatitudes. So we have makarioi, the same word here, blessed or in a state of well-being. Happy is the idea. Esta, now we have the second person plural verb of being, which of course has been omitted. In the prior descriptions, it's really been the third person that was implied of the word eimi. This is the second person of eimi, it's plural. So blessed are you is the idea. So it focuses a little bit more now to a particular audience, as opposed to what might be regarded as something like platitudes, which were in the preceding statement. So blessed you are. Hotan, combination of a couple of words that involve the idea of hota, when, and the on is part of eon, contracted here, so we'd say whenever. Takes the subjunctive as we find it here, so blessed are you whenever, on any occasion. And then onedisosen. This is from onedidzo. It's a word that means, in the first person singular, I revile, I mock, I make fun of. That would be the idea. It can be severe, not necessarily, but it's a word now used in the subjunctive, third person plural. This is the aorist active subjunctive, so whenever, on any occasion, they, and it's remained undefined who they are, but they mock or revile is the idea. It takes the accusative, so it's the accusative plural here of the second person pronoun. Whenever they revile or mock you. Kai, the connective dioxosen, which was used in the preceding verse, dioko, is the primary verb. It means I persecute, giving some kind of malicious treatment to someone in the social order. So again, it's in the subjunctive, third person plural, aorist active subjunctive. So whenever they revile you and persecute, the humas is not added here, but it's implied. And then kai, the connective aposen, again in the subjunctive, third person plural, aorist active subjunctive, and say, and then pon, pone ron, every evil. This is a couple of adjectives used substantively, so we'd imply every evil thing, although we could in English simply leave it as every evil as well. It implies within it every manner of evil, every particular way in which they might slander you and say things that are unfair and unwarranted, but this is the hostility of which Jesus gives repeated warning, and say all evil thing or every manner of evil thing. Kath, from kata in the genitive, or taking the genitive, means against. So here's the genitive plural of the second person pronoun, against you. Some manuscripts added pseudomenoi. This is not well attested. It's certainly present in some. It's a participle. It means, of course, to die, to lie. Pseudomai is the primary verb here, to tell, so it would be modifying the aposen. To speak falsely would be the idea, or speak lyingly every manner of evil against you. As I say, it's probably already implied. The best manuscripts don't have it, but it certainly doesn't hurt the sense of it to include it there, probably added sometime early on by a copyist to clarify the point. Heneken, we had that earlier. It's a preposition, takes the genitive, which we find here. It means for the sake of, for the cause of, that idea. And then, of course, the first person genitive pronoun here, of me, or on my behalf, or because of me. So when the persecution is in a general sense simply for standing up for what is right, there's a blessedness, and now an even more pronounced expression of blessedness for those who are persecuted, abused, mocked, maligned in the culture, especially because of Christ himself.